Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. A bunch of you have asked if I was ever going to get around, what just arrived like days ago, to the next recording in Frank Dupree's ongoing series of Kapustin piano concertos and other works for piano and orchestra. And here it is. Yes, of course I'm getting around to it. And yes, of course, it's as fabulous and marvelous as all of the others. It really is. It's just fantastic. And there's some really nifty things on here. Kapustin wrote a whole bunch of short pieces for piano and orchestra, pieces that are never going to get played. Never in a billion years. He wrote 6 piano concertos, plus other concerted works that have a piano. And I think this means that Dupree has done all of them, except for number 1. And there's enough, I think, stuff out there, orchestral works of his to have room for another disc, which I'm assuming will be coming anon. But this is just freaking amazing. First, you get the variations for piano solo and big band, Opus 3 from 1961, the year of my birth. There you go. It's only 3 minutes and 23 seconds long. That's why these things, of course, will never get played in concert. But a big band, by the way, in case you were wondering, the classical big band, that is traditionally consisted of trumpets, trombones, saxophones, and a rhythm section. And the rhythm section was usually drums, piano, maybe a double bass, some stuff like that. The other percussion, and that's what Kapustin is basically working with, in the main, that sort of ensemble. Usually 5 of each things, 5 trumpets, 5 trombones, 5 saxophones, or something like that. But that's a big band. And he wrote, remember, he was a jazz composer who insisted his music was not jazz because it involved no improvisation. Everything is notated. However free it may sound, it's all strictly, very precisely notated. He was extremely well organized. And this little set of variations is just delightful. I mean, it's delightful and breezy. And then we have the Toccata for piano solo and big band, Opus 8. Well, a toccata, as you know, is a touch piece from toccare in Italian, to touch. It's a thing that's designed to show off what you can do, principally at a keyboard. And boy, could he do at a keyboard. My God, it's brutally fast and exciting and virtuosic. I mean, his music is really thrilling and extraordinarily difficult, to perform. And then we've got the second piano concerto from 1972. These concerti are short. They're like 15 minutes, 16, 17 minutes long. They're not big works. They're in 3 movements. And this is luscious. It's really, really beautiful and breezy, I think is the word for it. It just has this freshness and excitement, and then the slow movements, sexiness. It's tremendous. And then there's the Nocturne for piano and orchestra, Opus 16. It's from the same time as the second piano concerto. It's only 5 minutes long. But by the time you get here, it's good to have something a little bit slower and more lyrical, and as an interlude between that. And then we have the concert Rhapsody for piano and orchestra, Opus 25. That's about 10 minutes of 2 movements, an introduction and a humoresque, very, very peppy and light and witty and sly. And finally, the 6th piano concerto, which is from 1993. And it's his last major orchestral work, I think, or the last concerto for sure, for piano concerto anyway, because, as they explain in the notes, he needed to get published. He wanted to have his works played. He didn't have many opportunities to get performances in the orchestral sphere. This is for piano and big band also. Concerto number 2 is for piano and orchestra, a regular symphony orchestra. But this is for big band, and it's in a, he evolved as a composer. And one of the joys of getting in on the ground level with these concerti and listening to them, in order, is you get to hear how his language evolved while staying within the basic sort of jazz parameters that he'd outlined for himself initially. And this piece is it's a little bit more harmonically elusive, a little bit more acerbic. It's no less virtuosic. It's no less exciting. It has wonderful musical ideas, but the idiom has evolved. It's more of a cool jazz sort of thing, maybe a little bit. I don't know. You have to listen to it. You'll use your own words, your own language and perceptions to define it. But as previously, the performances with Frank Dupree and Jakob Krupp and Meinhard Obi Jenna, drummer, and the SWR Big Band and the SWR Symphony Orchestra under Dominik Beykirch. Wow. Will they ever be bettered? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I really hope that Dupree, after doing this series, does all the piano sonatas or all the works for piano, or does something to start to document this guy's output in more systematic form, because the music is just amazing. And I know, from what I've heard anyway, that the piano sonata cycle is going to be one of the great 20th century keyboard extravaganzas. It would just be wonderful to have somebody, do something systematic who has the ability to do it really well. And Dupree really has the chops. Boy, could this guy play. And they're stunningly recorded on Capriccio. And in connection with SWR Kultur, grab it. Do I need to even tell you? If you've heard any of the others, you're going to want this. If you haven't heard any of the others, sure, start here, because there's short works, there's longer works. It covers his entire career as a composer for piano and orchestra, and it's all just marvelous, delightful. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.